This computation help video deals with multiplying decimals. The trick for multiplying decimals is easy. You just ignore the decimals. So you think about these numbers as if you're multiplying 127 times 345 and pretend the decimals aren't even there. So you set up your multiplication as if the decimals weren't there, and we typically put the larger number on top, 345 times 127. Now here's an example where my method may vary from your teacher's. Do it the way your teacher showed you. I just like to do it this way. After I set up my multiplication, I put the decimals back in my numbers, but I'm still pretending they're not there. But you need them at the end, and you'll see that after we do the multiplication. So I'm multiplying by the 7, and the 7 is in the ones place. So 5 times 7 is 35. Carry the 3. 4 times 7 is 28, plus 3 is 31. Carry the 3. 3 times 7 is 21, plus 3 is 24. Cross out these numbers that we carried so they won't confuse us as we multiply by the tens place. Now this 2 is not a 2, it's 20. It's 2 in the tens place. Remember, we're ignoring the decimals right now. So if I'm multiplying by 20, or multiplying by 2 tens, I need to start with a placeholder in the ones place. Okay, now 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. And 3 times 2 is 6. I'm going to cross out the numbers I carried so that they won't confuse me as I multiply by the hundreds place. And this 1 is in the hundreds place, so we're really multiplying by 100, not 1. So we need to start with 2 zeros to show that we're multiplying by hundreds. 5 times 1 is 5. 4 times 1 is 4. And 3 times 1 is 3. We add up these numbers. 5 plus 0 is 5. 1 plus 0 is 1. 4 plus 9 is 13, plus 5 is 18. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 6 is 9, plus 4 is 13. Carry the 1. And 1 plus 3 is 4. Now this is where the decimals come in, and this is why I like to put them in here. But I'll show you an alternate method also that you might prefer. Okay, you ask yourself, how many decimal places in this first factor? We have the decimal right here, and there are 2 digits after the decimal, so that we have 2 decimal places in this first factor. Looking at the second factor, how many digits after the decimal? How many decimal places? There's 1 digit after the decimal. So we add up the 2 and the 1, and we should have 3 decimal places in our product. In order to have 3 decimal places in my product, I need my decimal to be right here so that I have 1, 2, 3 digits after the decimal. And our product is 43.815, or 43 and 815 thousandths. Now, before I show you the alternate method, let's think about this for a minute. You always want to consider whether your answer or whether your product is reasonable. Let's look at the numbers we started with. 3.45, let's just call that 3. Let's round it down to 3. 12.7, let's call that 13. If I do 13 times 3, I get 39. Is this product, are we in the ballpark? Is that close to 39? Definitely. 43 is close to 39. If you put your decimal in the wrong place, in other words, if I put it after the 4 and I got 4.3 something, we look at this and realize that we made a mistake. Likewise, if I put my decimal after the 8 and I had 438, I would look at this and realize I did something wrong. So always consider whether your answer is reasonable. Now, the alternate method I was referring to is you could leave the decimals out of this setup and you could just consider them here. I have one number after the decimal here and 2 numbers after the decimal there, and I could consider it this way, that I would have 3 in my product and I'd get the same result.